Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm so delighted that you could join me today, as always. And before you check your phone or your computer or whatever you're watching me on, I am just doing an audio channeling today so you can just hear my voice. And it's really important that you listen today because I'm going to show you what the abandonment wound looks like in the feminine, and I'm going to do it in a way of role play. So I want you to imagine just for a moment that I'm a divine feminine who is going to be speaking to her masculine, maybe via text or a letter or something in that way. So we could say it's a divine feminine letter, a letter to her masculine. And I'm going to begin starting this now. So just remember, I'll be in character. So this isn't me. I'm playing a character, okay? The abandoned divine feminine. I know that you've been really busy, and I guess you've had time to help out your family and other people in your life. And I know that, we kind of said that we'd see how things go, but I really don't want to do this anymore. I really don't want to sit and wait for your text. I really don't want to sit and wait for your call. I really don't want to begin or continue thinking of a life with you anymore. I'm not sure if you're aware, but my mother and my father were different in the way that they treated me, but my mother was unwell for so many years that she barely even acknowledged me. And when she did it on her terms. My father wasn't around until I turned about, how old would I have been? I don't know, in my 20s sometime. He rocked up and saw my life and had all these things to say, like, why are you doing that job? How come you live in that area? You bought a house? Why would you do that for? I also had some friends in the past that used me. I had a couple of ex-boyfriends that used me. I had so much going on, and it's taken me until now to realize that no one really gives a shit. To be fair, my mum was too busy with her own stuff. My dad was too busy being selfish. My throat chakra is going crazy right now because I've been meaning to tell you this stuff for a really long time. And when we first met, you were this amazing guy. You were love bombing me. You were, I don't know, sending bubbles of love. You were giving me all this attention. And I actually thought for a moment that perhaps we could actually do this together, have a relationship where we just love everything about one another. But there's always these things that get in the way. My throat chakra is driving me crazy. I may sound all woo-woo and stuff, talking about spiritual stuff, and I kind of thought you understood that. I don't really see that you see that the people in your life are using you. The people that you spend the most time with. Granted, I know you need to go to work, I get that, but the people who you spend the most time with, continually use you. I can see it, even though I'm not right there. I can see it from a mile away by how you talk about them. And really it's just shitty, because I find that I've got this love to give, and I know deep within inside of myself I want to be loved, but there's always this excuse, you have to work late, or you're busy, or you're, I don't know, dealing with something else. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic or rude or bitchy or needy, but there are 24 hours in a day. And if you loved me, you would show me. If you loved me, you'd take 3 minutes out of your day to tell me that you're okay. I often think that it's like a woman back in the olden days waiting in wartime, waiting for the husband to come home, or waiting to get that message that he's not. This is what the texting game is like. This is what social media is like. It's an absolute abomination to this whole generation. I don't know if you know this or not, but women actually care. Most women care, unless they're really fucked up and distorted, but most women care. I've cared enough to check in with you. I've cared enough to send you what's been on my heart. I've cared enough to acknowledge you on social media when you've had something going on. And what I find is that you take the longest time to respond. Sometimes you might take days. Sometimes you might take weeks. Sometimes you might not respond at all. And so I wanted to say today, on behalf of all feminines, is that we're no longer going to be abandoned anymore. Those who care about us in our life are going to show up. Those who really give a damn will send a text. Those who really do care, even if they're busy, will send a text to say, hey, I'm busy at the moment, I'll be home at 7, can I talk to you then? A real divine masculine will not push away his feminine. A real divine masculine would not hurt the one he loves. A real divine masculine would be kind, would be gentle, would be generous, would be giving, would be loving, would understand that women need to feel nurtured and need to feel loved. So whatever is going on is fine by me. Continue on your trajectory of ignoring. Continue on your trajectory of not saying hello. Continue on your trajectory of being distant. And I shall do me. I shall get on with my life. I shall be the abandoned warrior. I shall be the abandoned goddess. I shall put myself forward, first and forward, from this day on. I will nurture myself. I will nurture the people around me who are there and care about me. I will not spend time any longer wondering or hoping or guessing or wishing upon a star, wishing upon 10,000 stars, howling at the moon, putting crystals out at different times. And there goes my throat chakra again. I won't be someone who clings on anymore. I've shown my heart. I've shown what I wanted you to know about me. And the thing is that those who are meant for me will come back to me. Those who are guided to speak with me will speak with me. Those who love me will love me. And those who ignore me will continue on that trajectory too. Now, I may sound a bit harsh right now, but I wish you well. I really do. I hope you find that bliss, that enlightenment, that wonderment, whatever you're searching for. But as the abandoned feminine, I will no longer tolerate feeling mistreated, misunderstood, and not part of someone's life. I will no longer push forward and try and paint a trajectory of being and feeling as though something is going to happen. In fact, I love you enough to set you free. And we have dogs barking as a synchronicity. I love you enough to set you free. So from this day forward, I set you free. I wish you have the most beautiful life. I allow myself to do the same. I allow myself to feel love again from the source and from myself. I allow myself to know that I am worthy. To know that the person who is going to love me for the rest of my life will always come in, will always say hi, will always care enough to send that 30-second text that says, "Hey honey, hey sweetie, I'm just going to be a little bit later at the office tonight. I'll text you when I get home. I'll call you when I get home. I hope you're having a beautiful day." So whoever is right for me will do that wholeheartedly. They'll adore me. They'll love every part of me, even the parts that I don't like, even the parts of me that I know are shadow parts, even the parts of me that I've abandoned myself. The person who loves me will not abandon me. Okay, so that was a channeled message from the abandoned divine feminine. I want you to, if you can, go back and listen to it again. I want you to feel into that channeling, because it's going to resonate for many of you today, and many of you are going to have felt this way, and even many divine feminine who are in semi-union will also feel this way. So what I want to say to you today is that when you get to the point of understanding that you are or have been abandoned by someone, whether that's a parent figure or whether that's, another person in some kind of relationship, I want you to feel all of that. I want you to allow it to flow through you, And as you unpack it, as uncomfortable as it may be, I then want you to hold yourself for a moment. I want you to wrap your arms around yourself and tell yourself that you are beautiful, that you are lovable, that you are perfect in all of your imperfections. The person who is right for you, whether that's a twin flame or a soulmate, is going to treat you like your best friend and a lover, and they'll nurture you, and they'll be kind to you, and they'll be giving. They won't be perfect, because no one is. Remember, we live on the earth plane and no one's perfect. But for those of you who have had abandonment issues, I want you to understand that it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel all of it so that we can let it come up for transmutation. And many of the things that I said during that channeled message, you're allowed to feel those things. And if you have abandonment issues from your mother or your father or an ex, or from a family member or a friend even, I would invite you to write a letter to them, and then you can burn the letter. You can read it out and you can burn it and try and let it go. Try and let it out of you. This is part of the patriarchal and matriarchal wounding that many divine feminines have. Many masculines have had it as well. However, the masculines are usually dealing with narcissistic people rather than abandonment. The abandonment is usually on the feminine side. So today I invite you to let this go once and for all. A great time to let the past go in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde will also bring up I think there's actually 4 planets in retrograde at the moment, but Mercury retrograde will bring up a lot of past things, a lot of memories from the past. It'll have you sitting in uncomfortableness with your emotions. And so I want you to write a letter to whoever it is that abandoned you or hurt you. You may want to write multiple letters, and then you can read them out and you can burn them and let them go. You can also forgive these people because obviously they're on their own journey, and some of them did not know what they were doing at the time. Some of them are not awakened. Some of them are not in a position of understanding what they did. So as we let go of what people have done to hurt us, I'm really guided to tell Divine Feminine how proud of you I am right now, because this has been a really tumultuous time, and many Divine Feminines at this time have felt unsupported by the masculine. The masculines have been too busy. The masculines may not have messaged back. The masculines have maybe blocked you. The masculines have maybe gone into hiding or aren't telling their full truth in some kind of way. And so from yesterday I said this quote, and I want to say it again. Inner peace begins the moment that you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. Now that's really hard when you've got a trigger of abandonment or any kind of wounding from someone who's hurt you. So today I invite you to write that letter to your mother or your father or whoever it is. Maybe it's an ex, maybe it's someone, a friend that hurt you or left you or blocked you or did something. And I invite you today to write a letter and then read it out loud and then burn it. Get rid of it out of your system and forgive that person, not because that they what they did was okay, but forgive them because it releases you from feeling any kind of way, and it sets you free. Okay, so the quote for today is, if you love someone, set them free. And then there's a second part of the quote. I think it says something like, and if they come back, it was meant to be, or something like that. So don't quote me on today's quote, but that's pretty much what's going on. If someone's meant to be for you, they'll come back to you anyway. And for some divine feminines, as the abandonment wounding is brought up right now, it's really important to focus on the self, really important to do some self-love. If you need to do some one-on-one coaching with me to get you through this difficult time, please feel free to contact me. I'm doing one-on-one sessions, and you can book between 1 and 3 hours at a time and speak to me, and we can work through some of these blocks that may help you in the future. Okay, so I'm sending you all a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And if you need me, reach out. And just know that when you're in your joy, which is the highest vibration of who you are, you're really close to living through the soul, through the heart space. And I invite you to do that today. And if you need me, if you're struggling, please contact me. Okay, I'll talk to everyone really soon. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.